Congress's response differs from state to state. Congress's response in Bihar was Rahul Gandhi organizing a 3-week yatra through the entire state. Congress's response in Madhya Pradesh was different. Congress's response in every other state has been different. In Karnataka, what Mr. Siddaramaiah has said is that we are not going to make this a political issue. Our understanding is that this is political oversight on their part. They are misjudging the kind of situation that's going to emanate from this SIR, and it is this short-sightedness that is going to be a big disaster. That's the way we understand it.
So when we see that the West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and the Kerala government, they not only passed resolutions against this SIR, but they have also knocked the Supreme Court.
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, I think even the Congress is in the Supreme Court. They've also filed the petitions that are there in the Supreme Court are many. Almost all the opposition parties are in the Supreme Court, including the Congress. But what the Congress has failed to do in Karnataka is for it to make its stand very clear and say that we are going to stand with the people. It should at least have an in-principle opposition to the SIR. It should ensure that a resolution is passed in the assembly against SIR, and all the while it should also, in the event that SIR happens, despite all this opposition, put in place all mechanisms to ensure that it defeats this, this mass disenfranchisement exercise. That's the demand that we're making of the Congress today.
So, what's the status of this plea in the Supreme Court?
Supreme Court, the matters are still being heard. Some of the matters have been reserved for judgment. We'll have to wait and see what will happen over there. But basically, from the time SIR was declared in Bihar, you had various political parties that have moved the court, saying that, this is the basic plea is this, that SIR is unconstitutional and it is contrary to the law. If you look at how elections are conducted in India, there is a legal framework that operates. Of course, there's a constitution, then you have the Representations of People's Act 1950 and 51 and the corresponding rules to it. This form of the revision that is taking place, it doesn't have a mention in the law. It's totally ultra vires the law, it's ultra vires the constitution. So that question the Supreme Court has to decide, the legality and constitutionality. In doing that, some of the practical issues were brought before the Supreme Court. And one of the good things that happened because of the hearing in the Supreme Court is that one of the documents now that people can submit is the Aadhaar card. You would remember that the Election Commission of India, when it issued the list of 11 documents in Bihar in June last year, Aadhaar card was not one of them. And when people demanded that Aadhaar card should be included, the Election Commission outrightly refused. It is because of the hearing in the Supreme Court and the intervention of the Supreme Court that today you have this. But unfortunately, the Supreme Court that will respond so quickly, you see in the UGC guidelines, regulations immediately stayed by the Supreme Court, but the SIR has not been stayed, and that is a big letdown by the court.